Hey everybody, welcome to the Blue Collar Beer Gentleman. I'm Topher and I started this channel because I'm a fan of craft beer, but I'm also on a limited budget. So I wanted to demonstrate it was possible to enjoy good quality beers without having to break the bank. Now today's selection is not a particularly, well, it's not a deal. I actually paid $4.50 for it. It is the Breakside Salted Caramel Stout, lovingly brewed with salt and caramel, a collaboration with handmade salt and straw ice cream. Smooth, rich, good to the last spoonful. I paid, as I said, $4.50 for this pint can. I'm going to go ahead and let the plane go past. I bought it at Bridgetown Beerhouse at 915 North Shaver here in Portland. Bridgetown Beerhouse had a great selection. Problem was they didn't have any prices on anything, so you're kind of blindly buying things. That's how I discovered that I paid $4.50 for a beer, when I don't normally pay that kind of money for these beers. But anyway, that's the case. Bridgetown does not put their prices on their beers. I'm not going to, call them out for that. But I will tell you that if you are looking for this beer, you can find it at Bridgetown at, once again, 915 North Shaver here in Portland. This beer is 2 months old at the time of this recording. According to the can, it has a 6.7 ABV, but if you go to Breakside Brewing's website, it says that it has a 7.2 ABV. So I'm not sure which, but typically an American stout comes in between 5.0 and 7.2 on the ABV scale. The website says this has a 33 IBUs. Typically American stouts come in between 35 and 75 IBUs. So as you can see, it's about midpoint or perhaps even high, depending upon which ABV is correct, and at the very, very low end on hops. American stouts sprang out of the porter movement, therefore all stouts are porters, not all porters are stouts. What basically separates an American stout from Irish stout or many of the other stouts is hops. When in doubt, assume that the American version is super hoppy. Quick notes about this beer. As I said, I went to their website where I discovered that they added sea salt and especially made caramel, that's presumably with salt and straw, to the wort before fermentation. Salt and straw handmade ice cream was founded by cousins Tyler and Kim Malek. They have 4 Portland locations. They also have locations in Los Angeles, Anaheim, Seattle, the Bay, and Miami. I got quite a lesson about this. I had never heard of salt and straw ice cream before, and now I think I've definitely got to go check them out. They sound really, really interesting. 18 of my friends on Untapped gave this beer a cumulative score of 3.62. 24,000 of us gave it a cumulative score of 3.79. Beer Advocate had 265 rankings, with an average score of 3.77 and an overall score of 85, which is the first number on their score that makes very good, so it falls in the very good category. Malt composition: 2-row, chocolate, roasted barley, Munich flaked barley. Hops, Newport hops. There you have it. I believe I've given you everything I can possibly give you about, all the information I can give you about this beer. As I said, it is 2 months old at the time of this recording. The description that Untapped says, our friends over at Amnesia pointed out that we hadn't brewed a milk stout yet. Our friends and ice cream geniuses at Salt and Straw wanted to work on an ice cream beer. The result might be the most delicious dessert beer ever created. A rich extra stout with caramelized lactose and fleur de sel. Yep, there you have it. Okay, well, I don't see any reason to keep yapping my flap. I'm going to crack this bad boy open. We're going to do some drinking. Going to be using my Teku. Once upon a time I would have suggested having a pint glass as your standard beer glass in which to put any beer, but now I'm going to recommend Teku. Teku has the bulbous bottom and the flaring out at the end to make it tulips, so I gotta say, if you can only grab one beer glass, grab a Teku. There's a reason you see a lot of these on Instagram lately, if you are an Instagram follower. I've got to wonder if this isn't a 7.2 ABV. I can already smell the booziness. In fact, that's all I smell before I do even a quick beard wipe. But let me do that quick beard wipe. I do think smell the caramel. I'm going to put my schnoz directly in and see what else I can encounter. Definitely smelling the caramel. More than anything, I smell the caramel, but there's a little bit of booziness to this aroma as well. That is not a full jet black. I'm going to say that that's very dark brown, but it's not a full-on black. Looks like we got some pretty decent lacing going on here. I'm going to describe that carbonation as probably medium-high. Not overly crazy carbonation, not a low carbonation either. Well, I don't see any reason to keep yapping my flap. I'm going to get some drinking done. Cheers. Okay, I'm going to describe that as a medium-high mouthfeel. A little spikiness to it. No real alcohol burn to speak of. What can I say? Sweet, yes, I'm definitely tasting the caramel. I'm tasting that lactose, that's for very much sure. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not overly impressed with it. It's kind of sweet. You can kind of taste the caramel. It's sort of roasty. I don't know. I'm not wowed by this beer, particularly considering the fact that I paid $4.50 for it. There's just not a lot to it. I admit that, you know, milk stouts, it takes a bit for me to like them. What I do like about this is that it's not overly sweet, but at the same time, that not overly sweetness is not producing much flavor either. I'm tasting none of the sea salt at all. When I lick my lips, I can get some of the salt off of my lips, but that's where I'm tasting it, is off of my lips. I'm not really tasting it in the beer itself. Yeah, I'm not impressed with this beer at all. I'm going to give the beer itself a 3.0. It's because it came in a can, it's going to get that extra 0.25, so it's going to get an overall ranking of 3.25 on Untappd from me. I'm definitely willing to try other beers from Breakside Brewery, and they have locations in Milwaukee and I want to say on the southeast end, and anyway, they've got 3 different locations here in the greater Portland area. I wouldn't mind checking out their other beers. This one I'm just not that crazy about. Well guys, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out my other channel, Fat 50 and Running a Marathon. The Blue Collar Beer Gentleman will be running a marathon sometime from the day that he turns 50 to the day that he turns 51. I will be running a marathon during that time, so come check me out on that other channel. Well, as I always like to tell you, drink good beer and don't break the bank doing it. Cheers.